The rainy season is here and the country is likely to witness floods and maybe landslides, as it has been the case over the years. In fact, some parts of the country have already started experiencing devastating floods. Some of the worst hit areas include Butaleja district in eastern Uganda, which was hit this week, ending with extensive destruction of buildings, crops and roads, making access to the district extremely difficult. Authorities there also reported one death. At least 6 schools were closed and some people displaced after their homes submerged in floods. The former State Minister for Relief and Disaster Preparedness, Esther Anyakun, says the country's capacity to handle such natural disasters is limited due to budgetary shortfalls. Her call came as she formally handed over office to her successor, Lilian Aber, in an event that took place at the office of the Prime Minister in Kampala.
The most challenging department is the disaster preparedness and management. It's a bit challenging because of the funding issues. From the time I came to office, we are getting very little funding because of dwindling envelopes from the donors.
Now, the newly appointed State Minister for Relief and Disaster Preparedness, Lilian Aber, wants government to prioritize funding for the disaster preparedness and relief sector, owing to the extensive impact of the natural calamities that arise every year.
Now it's raining, it's common around this time that you'll have floods, you'll have wind blowing off the roof of schools and all that. But we may not be able to respond to the expectation because of limited funding. So the Ministry of Finance has to prioritize, and since we are going into a new budgeting time, we need to put money for responses for disaster. If we don't do that, then we can't do much. The ministry can't do magic if there's no funding for it.
NTV understands that government has initiated the process of sending relief aid to the people affected in last week's Butaleja floods.
We have released food to be given to the affected communities, but that may not be enough. What we have in the stores, which has been planned for, is that.
Meanwhile, government is set to start giving 10 million shillings to some of the 5,700 victims of the landslides in the Elgon region, especially those affected by the landslides that occurred in Bududa district in 2010. The Prime Minister Robin Enabanja will head to Bududa on Friday this week to launch the disbursement exercise. Daniel Kibet, NTV Tonight.